Well, hello, folks. It's Ken David Stewart back with you again on a Saturday morning, and we're going to go straight into episode 15 of my new novel, Street Dreams. Okay, let's just find my Word document right here, and we'll get right to it. Tony Barrows lived in a basement bachelor apartment on Spence Street. This area of Winnipeg is well known for its poverty and high level of crime. Tony fit very comfortably into his present living situation. This young man was heavy, but his excess weight was more than compensated for by the significant amount of muscle mass in his upper body. Tony had wide, powerful shoulders, strong pecs, and bulging biceps. He liked to show off his upper body mass by wearing an assortment of tank tops and skin-tight t-shirts. For his daily attire, Tony favored the color black, as it emphasized his upper body strength and de-emphasized his slight beer belly. Tony was very proud of his impressive physique, but he'd come by it honestly. He didn't have a great deal of self-discipline, but what little he had, he applied to his physical training regimen. Tony did not like doing housework or cleaning. There were more important things on which he wanted to focus his time. As Tony lived in a basement apartment, noisy, sweaty heating and plumbing pipes hung from the ceiling. Although the ceiling pipes made his apartment appear even dumpier than it already was, this cosmetic defect did not really bother Tony. Tony was 33 years old, but he didn't really have any goals or ambitions that society would hold in high regard. The last few years, Tony just lived in the present, one day at a time. This expression would have made Tony laugh, as one day at a time was the slogan used by most 12-step programs based on the original program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Tony walked over to his small kitchen. The walls were covered by faded strips of a sickly shade of light green paint. Making himself a smoothie was the way Tony liked to start his mornings. He, of course, had to begin his routine with a large cup of strong Tim Hortons coffee and a few hits from his vaping pen. Tony had sold some weed to one of his friends in exchange for a high-quality nicotine vaporizer. As far as Tony was concerned, he'd succeeded in quitting smoking tobacco, although he still loved his cannabis. Tony really didn't care that much about following a strict, healthy lifestyle. He wasn't one of those guys who wanted to live to age 80 anyway. 40 years of age would satisfy Tony just fine if he could enjoy all the forbidden pleasures of life. He only stopped smoking when he concluded that his heavy smoking was contributing to his long and frequent bouts of bronchitis. When Tony suffered from a serious upper respiratory infection, he usually had to put his weight training program on hold for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Tony had watched part of a documentary on the growing popularity of electronic cigarettes and vaping. One day his friend Rod showed Tony the new vape pen that he bought at the Toke, a store that sells both tobacco and vaping supplies. Rod had a sepia-colored vaping pen that produced a huge cloud of vapor. When his friend demonstrated how his new nicotine delivery system worked, Tony was immediately impressed. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to stop it right there, and thank you for listening.